Hey guys, I'm sorry about not making a video for like 8 months or something, but I'm back! In fact, you guys didn't know, I am in fact a nerd fighter, which means that I follow the Vlogbrothers on YouTube and I really love their videos. And they do this thing called Thoughts from Places where they film a location and then talk about the things that they thought of while they were in that location. So I decided to make a Thoughts from Places video about my hometown Rutherford, and I hope you guys enjoy. Spring has kind of started to make its arrival in my town, with flowers blooming and the air warming it a little enough for people like me to go outside and ride my bike without catching a cold. But despite the fact, there I was lying on my bed wasting my life away on Tumblr when I finally got fed up with the whole inactivity thing and decided to finally get off my ass for once and get some sunshine. Never mind the fact that it was kind of gloomy outside. So I put on my jacket, got my bike out of the garage where it had been rusting for several months, and took off on a semi-tour of my hometown to make a Nerd Fighterly Thoughts from Places video. So I started out on my suburban tour thinking that I was going to document some pretty trees and call it a day. But as I biked through the streets precariously, balancing my camera in one hand and occasionally getting into some accidents that I was sometimes prepared for and sometimes not so prepared for, I really began to notice the amalgam of old and new that makes my town so unique. Like the American pastime of baseball being enjoyed by the younger and older generations, the power lines and cars lining streets composed of roads and houses over 100 years old, and my 112-year-old middle school with its 112-year-old bell tower still retaining its purpose of teaching each new generation new things, despite the changing methods and the changing pupils. I began to notice how upsetting it could be sometimes, the way that time seems to forget what has served its purpose for long periods of time in favor of newer, shinier things like these older mom-and-pop businesses that have lost their space to newer and more profitable stores. The power lines and cars obstructing beautiful scenery the way that coarse mechanical technology tends to do. And this building where George Washington once slept in on his way to defeat the Hessians in Trenton, which is now occupied by a Korean church. As well as this college that has been built on the land of an older castle which you can hardly see in the back anymore. But as I kept riding, I saw that my town has this way of refusing to forget its past. For instance, here's the William Carlos Williams Center, an homage to the singularly most famous man to have come out of my town, as well as the church that he once attended and the street that he once lived on, all retaining their original Victorian/Gothic architecture to remember the good old historic days. There are numerous memorials to veterans that have served in past wars erected by the new generations that refuse to forget them, in the forms of beautifully restored parks to the obligatory cannon to fan shells, which I couldn't resist doing a little dance in while people in passing cars kind of looked on with amusement. There's even a memorial to the oldest tree in my town because, you know, as the sign says, we are the borough of trees, and even the most historic trees get their own plaque. Spring marks a time where seeds burgeon and bloom, evolving to match new environments by taking up new traits to survive while still somewhat keeping the look and beauty of their ancestors. In the same way, Rutherford is a town that has withstood the testament of time by evolving with new businesses and necessary technology, but still retaining its rich 129-year-old history by maintaining its historical beauty in the hands of their newer generations. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.